Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tom or Gummy, and today we are back with another statue tutorial. Today we are doing Nightmare Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Again, the Nightmare Bonnie will be along in the very near future, probably within the next few days, so definitely stick around for that, and also the new series which should be dropping anytime soon when I'm in Spain. So yeah, just a quick update, I am leaving for Spain on the 18th of August and I get back on the 28th, so expect uploads to be normal because I have pre-recorded, but expect the responses in the comment section to be slightly less, unless I can get a good internet connection out there. But yeah, anyways, again, credit to Lazar for the design. It's a really awesome, in-depth, detailed design, and it makes for a nice statue. So yeah, anyways, not going to waste any more time. Hope you enjoy. If you do, leave a like, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you there. Alrighty guys, so what we're going to do first is list off the blocks you'll need, and then we'll get straight on into building. So you'll need cyan stained clay, you'll need stone, brown stained clay, black wool, oak planks, white wool, orange wool, blue stained clay, pink stained clay, and also quartz stairs. So if you want to pause, get them blocks into your inventory, that would be great, and then we'll get straight on into building. Okay, so granted that you have got them blocks into your inventory and you're ready to go, we're going to start building. So what we're going to do is we're going to place one cyan stained clay, one stone, one cyan, one brown stained clay, one stone, one cyan, one brown, and then one black wool. And once you've done that, it will look like this, and it will be an 8 long line like so. The next row is the exact same, so you essentially just copy what you've done. So cyan, stone, cyan, brown, stone, cyan, brown, black. Whoops, that's brown. There you go. So right now it should be 2 blocks tall, 8 blocks wide as you can see, and it looks awfully random. But we're going to change that now and start working up towards the body. So the next 2 rows are 8 brown stained clay. The next row is 8 black wool. And again, if you want to, pause here. This is what it should be looking like so far. 5 blocks tall, 8 blocks wide. Okay, so next what we're going to do, we're going to start on the left and work our way to the right. First of all, we're going to build up 5, 3, 4, 5. The next row is 5. The next row is 4, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5. So again, just to reiterate, we go 5, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5. Next what we do is we cap that off with black wool, as you can see there. And then on the left side we build up 1, and on the right side we build up 1. Then in that remaining gap in the middle, what we're going to do is fill it with brown stained clay. Okay, so once you've done that, it should be 12 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide, and should look roughly like this. Of course, we haven't punched out the details yet, so we're going to get to that in a second. But again, just to prove, the floor is Y5 on this map, and the top is Y17, that is 12 blocks tall. So if you want to, feel free to pause, and now we're going to start adding some details. So for the details, it mainly consists of just punching a few blocks out and indenting some black wool. So what we do is we come down to the bottom section here, we start on the left side, and we go 1 to the right on this top row of the brown stained clay right there. We punch that one out, and we go 1 to the right and punch that one out. We then go all the way to the end, go second to the end one, punch that one out, and we're going to go around the back and indent it with black wool, but I'll do that in a second. Next up, we go upwards into this next section, the second section I guess you could call it. We come to the second row, and to the third block from the left. We then go up diagonal to the left, like so. Then coming back to this original gap here, we're going to leave 2 blocks to the right, and then punch 2 out, and go up 1. Again, that's the second section complete, and now we move up to the third and final section of the legs, which is this part here, where we punch out this one, the one just above this black wall here, leave 1 block gap, and then punch these 2 blocks out. And that is all the details you need to punch out. So, just a rundown of what we're going to do. We're going to go down to the bottom now, and we're going to go round to the back and start indenting some black wool. So the bottom rows are all black wool. This area is all black wool apart from 1 block, which I'll point out, and this one is slightly different, but we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, this is your last opportunity to pause without the indented wool if you want to do so. So feel free, but otherwise I'm going to move on. Okay, so moving around to the back of the statue, we're going to mark which side's the front, just to make it easier to describe. So that's the front, the side with the cyan stained clay. So what we do is we come behind, and we just fill it in with solid black wool, but make sure what you do is you place one black wool behind, and then, as you can see, the black wool is set back one from the brown stained clay. If it looked like this, it wouldn't look as good, so definitely make sure you set it back one block. Okay, and yeah, all we're doing is just filling it in with the black wool, and then when we get up to this section, it's slightly different, so I'm just going to place black wool on the sides right there. Whoops. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you've filled it in with black wool. Of course, them two, not so much. What we're going to do first, before we get up to that point, is come to this side. As I said, one block is stone, and that is the top block, so you punch it out and replace it with stone. Okay, so the two up here, as I said, are slightly different. The left one is cyan stained clay, and it's set back one, and then the right side is cyan and then stone. So they're still both set back one, but again, they're just different colours, so look slightly different. That is what it should look like with the details and parts set back. So if you want to, feel free to pause. If not, we shall continue. Okie dokie. So, what we're going to do now, we are going to move on to the body. What we have to do before we do the body though, is we have to do the endoskeleton. So, if you haven't seen any of the other Nightmare statue tutorials I've done recently, the endoskeleton is actually a real prominent part in the statue, as you can actually see through most of the parts of the body and see the endoskeleton. So it's easier to build that before you build the outer area, because otherwise you're working in very tight spaces. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around to the back side, and we're going to come to the black wall here, and we're going to extend it backwards 2 using brown stained clay, 1 black, and we do the exact same on this side, so 2 brown stained clay, 1 black, and then we join it together like so. That leaves us with this area here. Now, of course, below that, we're going to do the left side and the right side of the leg, and then below this part is the back of the body. But for here, we're going to fill this in. So, the left side, we're going to place 2 cyan, then 2 stone, then a 2x2 of cyan, 2 stone, and 2 cyan. And this is what it looks like once you've done that. You've basically filled the gap. Then, on top of that, we place a 2x2 of cyan, and then we place a 5x2 of stone. So 5 rows of 2x2 stone. So we're making a 2x2 pillar at this point, and we're doing 5 rows of stone. I believe that's 4, yeah, 4. 5, there we go. Okay, so on top of that, we're going to do a 2x2x2 cube of cyan stained clay. So again, just to go over it, it's 1 row cyan, 5 rows of stone, 2 rows of cyan. On top of that, it's 1 row of stone, a row being a 2x2 area. On top of that, 1 row of cyan, then stone, and then finally cyan. And once you've done that, that is essentially the top of the statue, and as you can see, it's Y29, which is 24 blocks off the ground, which is perfect. That's what you want. So, that is the main spine of the endoskeleton. Now to add the other areas. So, for the shoulders, what we're going to do is we're going to come to the top, of course. We're going to place to the left and to the right 1 stone of the cyan, and then we're going to place 2 cyan stained clay either side of that stone. Then, what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the next area, which has cyan, and to the left we place 2 stone, and to the right we place 2 stone. We then, on the left side, go 1, 2, 3, so 1 cyan and then down twice. We do the exact same on the right side. So everything we do on the left side is mirrored on the right side. Then what we do is we go 1 to the right on the left side with stone, 1 to the left on the right side with stone, and we go up diagonal using cyan, and it brings it back and connects it like so. Then what we do is we go down diagonal from that stone and place 1 stone there, and once you've done that, it will look like this. So that is pretty much all you need to do. What we should do though, because I didn't actually do it, you need to come around the back and double it up. So everything you've done here, just double up, so it's all too thick, and that means that you'll be able to see it on the back side of the statue as well. One thing I do want to point out though, at the top of the endoskeleton, is the back side is slightly different. On this front part we have 1 stone, 2 cyan. At the back part it's just 2 stone. So there's no cyan on the top row, it's just 2 stone. Okay, so that's what it looks like from the back. This is what it looks like from the front. Again, it's 12 blocks tall, as you can see, and it should look like this. That part there is 5, but apart from that, it's pretty self-explanatory. I will get rid of my arm just in case you guys want to pause and catch up, which is fair enough, I guess. But yeah, there's your opportunity. Again, from bottom, it's 1 row of cyan, 5 stone, 2 cyan, 1 stone, 1 cyan, 1 stone, and 1 cyan. Okay, so now that's out of the way, what we can do is move on to the arms. I'm going to do the arms first and then come back and do the front, because the arms actually help us build the structure of the front, and it will all make sense in a second, so don't you guys worry. Okay, so again, make sure you're at the front. As you can see, I placed that cyan there just to make out what the front is. So we're going to come to the front side of the statue and come to the top left corner of the legs. Where this black wall is, we're going to go up diagonal and place 1 cyan. We're then going to place 1 brown, 1 cyan, and 1 brown. We do the exact same on the right side, so we go up diagonal from this black wall, place 1 cyan, brown, and then cyan, brown. Below the cyan blocks, we're going to place 1 stone under each one, because this represents the claws, as you can see. And this is also where the hands start. So where the cyan brown is, that is the base of the hands. So, on the left side, what we're going to do, we're going to work up the arm. We're going to place another row of 4 brown. So the first row is brown, cyan from left to right. Second row is 4 brown. The next row is 4 black wool. The next 3 rows are brown stained clay, each row being 4 wide. Next row is black wool. Next 5 rows is brown stained clay. Okay, and if you've done that correctly, it will come in line with the top of the endoskeleton that we built a second ago, and it will also look very plain, but don't worry, we will get back to that in a second, punching out the detail and making it look awesome. For the right arm, it's the exact same, so from left to right it goes cyan brown, next row is 4 brown, next row is 4 black wool, next 3 rows is 4 brown, next row is 4 black wool, and then the next 5 rows is brown stained clay. And again, if done correctly, you'll come in line with the top of the endoskeleton. It will also match up with the top of the other arm, and it will be at wide 29 if you're on console, or wide 28 if you're on PC. Of course, if you are on super flat, if not, don't listen to the coordinates. But the general gist should be that you should be 24 blocks off the ground. Okay, so as you can see, we got 2 arms, each being 12 tall, 4 wide. They look very, very plain. So we're going to get to the left arm, then the right arm for adding some detail. So, moving to the left arm, again, what we do is we come up to the second section. So this first section, the bottom one below the black line is fine. We come up to the second section of brown stained clay. We come to the first row, to the second block, punch it out, and we go up diagonal to the right, up 1, and to the left 1. Next section, so this section here, the 5 tall by 4 wide part. We come to the first row, third block, go up 1, twice, and then the middle block we go to the left 1. We then also punch this 2x2 out at the top corner, top left corner, but we're not actually going to indent any blocks there for now. For the lower parts, which we've just done, we come behind and we're going to indent it using black wool. Now there are parts of stone, but again we just indent it using solid black wool, and then we can just add the stone afterwards. So that's what it looks like once you've indented with the black wool. The bottom part is fine. The middle part here, what we do is we punch out the middle 2 blocks and replace with stone, and that is pretty much it. So if you want to pause, that is what the left arm looks like once you've punched out all the details. Moving over to the right arm, what we do is we come to the second section, first row, second block, third block, punch out, and then the second row, first block, and we come up to the next section, again, first row, second block, first row, third block, then second row, second block, and then the next row, we then go onto the third one, or up diagonal to the right from that part there. We then punch the top right corner, and the one to the side, and the one below it, out like so, just to give the shoulders a bit more curve. So that's what it looks like without the blocks being indented. What we're going to do now, of course, is go around the back, and fill it in with the black wool. And then we'll add the stone, or any parts of the stone, right now. So, the bottom section, again, is fine. The upper section, this one block here, is stone. But once you've done that, that is fine. So, this is what you should be looking at so far. Again, it should be 16 blocks wide, 24 blocks tall, or 8 wide if you're not including the arms. I don't know why you wouldn't include the arms though, because they are part of the build. One last thing we're going to do before we move on to the chest area here, is we're going to add one block of stone. So we come to the top of the left arm, and we indent one stone in that corner just there. Now, don't worry about that for now. We will come back to that in a second, after we've done the chest. But essentially what we do is we place one brown stone clay to the left of it and one on top of it. And that is part of the shoulder that gets, I guess, almost chopped off. But as previously mentioned, we'll get back to that later on. Okay, so for the next section, which is the chest, we're going to need our oak wood planks. There we go. I'm so obsessed with stained clay these days. Oak planks, and also the black wool and cyan stained clay. So, what we're going to start off by doing is placing all the oak planks, and we'll get to the bow tie afterwards. So we come to the left side, bottom area of this empty area, and we leave one block, so we go up one. Right next to this brown stained clay here, we build one oak plank, and then we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 in total. We then come down one, so the second to top block, and we go one to the right, and then we go once more to the right. We then go up 1, 2, 3 from that point, and we go down 1, 2. And once you've done that, that will give you a row of 6. Now we're going to do this by rows because it makes your life a hell of a lot easier. So, from here we then go up diagonal to the left. And then we're going to move on to the next row. So the next row comes in line with the first row of the spine. We're going to start one block lower than this one, and we're going to finish one block higher. So this row is 8 blocks. As you can see, we start one block lower than the previous row, and we finish one block higher. It's 8 tall. Again, that row is 6 tall. This row is 5 tall. Okay, the next row is 5 tall. What we're going to do is we're going to start one block higher than the previous row, and then we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we finish 2 blocks lower than the previous row, and it should look like this. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to come to the bottom of the row we just finished, and we go 1 to the right and up 1. We're then going to leave a 1 block gap, so we're going to place a random block, and then place 1, 2, 3, like so. We're then going to get rid of that random block. So, as you can see, we got almost like a row of 6, but we punch out the third block, and it gives you an effect like this. The next row, what we're going to do is we're going to come to this part here that we just built. We're going to go 1 to the right and up 1. We're then going to go to the upper area of the row we just built, and we're going to go 1 to the right and up 1. So that row just consists of 4 blocks, 2 on the lower area, 2 on the upper area. The final row, we're going to come to the second to top block, so this one here, and then we're going to build 1 and then down 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what that does is that links up with this brown stained clay right here, or the second to bottom block on that section. And once you've done it, it should look like this. So, let me get rid of my arm, because this is a awfully complicated part, or at least in my opinion it is. It looks like this. So just to go through what it is row by row, the first row is 5 blocks, the second row consists of 2, the third row is 6, the fourth row is 8, the fifth row is 5, the sixth row is 5, the seventh row is 4, and the final row is 7. That's from left to right. So, if you want to pause, I'll go right up close. Just by looking on screen right now, you should be able to figure it out. Again, it starts, there's a 1 block gap on the left, a 1 block gap on the right, and then, of course, from there, you should be able to work it out. So, moving on, what we're going to do now is add the bow tie. So, we're going to go to the top left corner, and we're going to get our brown stained clay. We're going to place 1, 2, 3 brown stained clay like that, going from top downwards. We then go to the right side, and we place 1, 2, 3 again, like so. What that means is we have a 6 block gap right here, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is where we're going to put our bow tie. So, what we're going to do is place 1 black wool on the top left corner there, next to the brown stained clay, and bring it 1 forwards. We're then going to punch the one out behind, like so. So this is standing one block out from the main build. Now that's important because the bow tie is meant to be 3D and therefore gives you a much better effect if you make it 3D. Okay, so next what we're going to do is bring the bow tie down twice, like so. Once to the right, up diagonal, once to the right, down diagonal, once to the right, up twice, once to the left, and then from this block here, once to the right. And it connects up like so. Again, make sure it stands out one block from the wooden planks that we just placed and the general statue. Again, this is what the bow tie looks like. Final thing we need to do for the bow tie is add one cyan stained clay in the left hole and one in the right hole. And once you've done that, you have built the front of the statue. I'm going to get rid of my arm and give you guys an opportunity to pause if you need to do so. Again, this is the bottom of the legs, which is 12 by 8. Then we've got each arm, which is 12 by 4, and the body, which is 12 by 8. Again, I suggest you guys take your time because this is a really difficult tutorial to do. And it's a lot easier if you take your time and don't mess up than if you do and have to rebuild. Okay, so hopefully by now you have paused and you're all up to pace. If not, again, go back. Don't go any further. Don't make your life any harder. Trust me, it's not worth it. Okay, so anyways, what we're going to do, come to the left side of the legs. We're now going to start making this statue 3D. So it's kind of 2D, or it's kind of 3D, I guess, you could almost say. But it's not the 3D we want. We want it like proper 3D and neat. We want it neat. This is not neat. So we're going to make it 3D and we're going to neaten it up a bit. So we come to the left side, the bottom side of the legs, and we're going to extend it backwards 1, 2, 3 using brown stained clay. We're then going to build up 1, 2, 3 all the way across using the brown stained clay. And each row on this is 4 wide, but of course we've already got this one, so we're only placing 3 blocks on each row. So the next row, we've got 4 rows of brown stained clay. The next row is black wool. And then the next 5 rows are brown stained clay. The next row is black wool. And of course, this row up here should go black wool, 2 brown stained clay, and 1 black wool. But once you've done that, it will look like this. That is a 12 by 4 rectangle. If you want to, feel free to pause. The other leg is the exact same, but I'll walk you guys through it nevertheless. So, we're going to come to the black wool here, extend it backwards 3. Then we've got the 4 rows of brown stained clay. As you can see, 4 by 4 minus these 2 blocks here. The next row is 3 black wool. The next 5 rows are brown stained clay. Then we've got the row of black wool. And then we've got the row that goes black wool, as you can see right there. 2 brown stained clay and 1 black wool. And again, that is the right side of the leg. It is 12 by 4. If you want to, pause. If not, then feel free to move on. So, next what we're going to do. We've started making the legs 3D. We're going to start making the arms 3D. So we're going to come to the left side, and we're going to come around the back to where this cyan stained clay is right here. We're going to extend it backwards 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when you come down below, it makes a square, which is 4 by 4. Coming round to the side, which is this part here. This is the back, coming round to the side here. What we're going to do is punch out the first block and the third one, place it with cyan stained clay, and then below each block we're going to place 1 stone. That is the first row. So the first row goes cyan stained clay, brown stained clay, cyan stained clay, and brown stained clay. Again, each row is 4 wide, but we're only placing 3 because the first row is already done. So, next row we place 3 brown, next row 3 black, the next 3 rows is brown stained clay, next row is black wool, and then the next 5 rows is brown stained clay. Now, what you'll notice here is that we've got this section cut out. If it was normal, it would be like that, but it's not, so we're going to make sure it's not normal. So looking at it from a side perspective, on the top row, we've got 2 blocks, second to top row is 3, and the row below is 4. Essentially what we're doing is punching out the corner here, so we punch out the 3rd block, 4th block, and then that one right there, and it gives us the little corner that looks like there's like a chunk missing, which is the desired effect we're going for. So once you've done that, it should look like this. Again, it's 12 by 4 minus that corner up there. And if you want to, you know what to do. If not, move on. Okay, so coming around to the other side, again, it's very, very, very similar. So we get our brown stained clay, we come to cyan, extend it backwards 3 all the way across. Come down below, it's a 4x4 square, and then we're going to come to the side. Again, the second and last block are cyan stained clay going from left to right, and below that we place 1 stone on each one. The second row is 3 brown stained clay. The next row is 3 black wool. The next row, or next 3 rows should I say, are brown stained clay. The next row is black wool. And then the next 5 rows are brown stained clay. Now again, just like I said before, on the other side, normally it would be like this, but what we do is on the first, or the top row, we punch out the first and second block, and on the second row we punch out the first block, and it gives us this nice corner, slightly different to the other side. The other side have of course got this block missing, but on this side it's slightly more bulky, and what we do is we place 1 block right smack bang in the corner there, and it gives us this nice gradient or nice effect that part of the arm is missing. So yeah, anyways, I'll come around to the side again if you want to pause. This is what it should look like. Again, it is 12x4. Okay, so coming round to the back of the statue, it should be looking like this so far. A tad messy, but don't worry, we are going to sort that now. So, starting on the legs, we're going to start on the legs because it's the easiest part. First 4 rows is just solid brown stained clay. Let me fill this in. There you go. The next row is black wool. Each row being 6 because we got 1 block either side, that makes it up to 8. The next 3 rows are brown stained clay. And then the next row goes 2 brown stained clay, 2 black wool, 2 brown stained clay. Next row, 1 brown stained clay, 1 black wool, 2 brown stained clay, 1 black wool, 1 brown stained clay. And then the final row is 1 black wool, 4 brown stained clay, 1 black wool. And once you've done that, it will look like this, and it's 12x8. Again, we've got details to punch out, so let's not rush ahead, let's go back and do them. So at the bottom section, we come to the top row and the second block in, punch that one out. We then go down diagonal, punch that one out, and go to the right one, punch that one out. We then leave 1 block gap, punch the next 2 out, and then go up 1. And that is all you need to punch out for there. We're then going to indent the black wool. This is easier now because we can just indent it off the front side rather than having to go around the back, as you can see. But again, make sure the black wool is set back 1 block to give it the best effect. Moving on up to the next section, we come to the second row, second block in, punch it out, go to the right one and also up 1. We're then going to indent the black wool. We then go up diagonal and indent 1 black wool right there. Coming back in row with this one here, where we punched out the 2, we're going to leave a 2 block gap, punch that one out, then go up diagonal to the right and up 1. For this one, the bottom left corner one is black wool. We then indent 1 stone there, and on top of that, 1 black wool. Final section, which is this part here, what we're going to do is, again, on top of this black wool right here, we're going to punch that one out, leave a 1 block gap, and punch that one out. Behind this one is 1 stone, behind this one is 1 cyan. And once you've done that, that is the back of the legs complete. In fact, that is the legs complete in general. If you want to, pause here. Again, make sure all the blocks that are indented to get the best effect. Okie dokie. So, moving on, what we're going to do now is the back of the arms. So again, you might be wondering why the back of the arms, not the back of the body. The back of the arms, as you saw at the front, you can build off of them rather than having to build up and leaving gaps. And that is definitely a thing for the back. So, starting on the arms, we're going to start on this arm here, the left arm, or in fact it is the back of the right arm, but from our perspective here it is the left arm. So, the first row goes cyan, 3 brown, as you can see. The next row is 3 brown. Next row is 3 black. Next 3 rows are brown. Next row is black, and then the next 5 rows are brown. Again, it's 12x4 and should look like this before you've added any details. Of course, we'll get back to adding some details in a second. For the right arm, again, the first row goes 3 brown, 1 cyan. Next row is 3 brown. Next row is 3 black. Next 3 rows is 3 brown. Next row is 3 black. And then the final 5 rows are brown stained clay. Again, identical so far to the other side, but once we've added the details, it won't be identical anymore. One thing we should do before moving on is something we need to come back and do later on anyways. What we do is we fill this area in here so the endoskeleton doesn't clash with the arms. Otherwise the arms are hollow and it looks really weird, because as you can see when you're looking in and there's holes in, you can actually see into the side of the arm. So we're going to fill that in. So essentially what you do is you just match it up with whatever block is at the side. So you can see here it's brown, so we place 2 brown, 2 black, 3 rows of brown, and then a row of black. And then from there on up, you can't actually see until you get to here, so don't worry about that. And then you just place 2 rows of brown to cap it off. Essentially you're just capping it off rather than doing it solid. If you wanted to do it solid, you could just come inside like this. But again, just make sure you are matching it up to the block at the sides, and you're essentially capping it off from the main body. And once you've done that, it will look like this, and it will look a bit more solid and a bit more well built. It's just a tip. If you don't want to do that, feel free not to, but I think it gives it a much nicer finish if you do so. Okay, so for the back of the arms, again, back to the details. We kind of skipped ahead a little bit there. We're going to go to the left arm, or the back of the right arm. We're going to come to the second section here, first row, second block, third block. Next row, the 2 blocks on top of that, and then the left block right there. We're going to indent black wool behind all of that, and once you've done it, it looks like this. Coming up to the upper section, what we're going to do is go to the top left corner, come down diagonal, down 1 and to the right 1, and behind the bottom 2 blocks is stone, or not stone, black wool, and then the upper block is stone. And once you've done that, it will look like this. That is the indent details for the left side. For the right side is slightly more, so we come to the right arm, of course, or the back of the left arm, whichever you want to call it. We come to the first row of the second area, first area, second area, first block, second block, then go up diagonal like so. Behind both of them is black wool, so we get indent black wool like so. And then we come up to the top area. We come to the first row, third block. We then go up 1 to the left 1. On top of that we do 2 more, and then on the left side we go up 1 more. Behind that, the bottom block is black wool. Next row is stone, next row is 2 black, and then the top row is 1 stone. And once you've done that, it will look like this. So, I am going to get rid of my arm one last time for the back of the arms. That is the left side, and that is the right side. Again, your responsibility to pause whenever you want to do so, but if you are feeling confident you've done it right, then that's great. Feel free to continue. Okay. So, getting my arm back quickly, we're going to fill in the back of the body. So, essentially, what we're going to do is just fill it in solid using the brown stained clay. So, we're going to make a 12 by 8 rectangle of brown stained clay. So, just build it up 12 all the way across, like so. And then we're going to start punching lots of blocks out. So, definitely pay attention because it does get a tad complicated. Okay, so nearly done. Okay, so we are done. That is the back of the body, 12 by 8, as you can see. What we're then going to do, as I mentioned, is punch some blocks out. So we're going to come to the bottom left corner. On top of this black wall, we're going to punch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the whole row, 8. The next row, we punch out the second block. We then punch out the 5th block, the 6th block, the 7th block, and the 8th block. So again, the first row is all 8, the second row is the 2nd, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Then the next row is the 5th block, so right up from there. Now, rather than punching out row by row, what we're going to do is we're going to punch one out and then go off on the trail, which is probably easier. So what we do is we come to this block here that we just punched out, we go up 1, to the left 1, and then the second block to the left is this one. So it's on the 3rd row, like that. We then go up diagonal and up 1. And as you can see, this is the main spine. That will reveal 2 stone. Next, what we do is we go to the left 1 from that block there. We leave a gap, and we punch this one out. Go up 1, up diagonal to the right, and then we go up diagonal to the left and up diagonal to the right. From the right side, we go to the right 1, up twice, to the right 1 and up 1. From this point here where we turn to the right, we're going to go 1 to the left, leave it, and then 2 to the left, punch 2 out, and then up 1. So again, from there we go twice to the right, leaving 1 block, or twice to the left, should I say, leaving 1 block, and then up 1. Final thing we need to punch out, we come back to this one here, we go to the right one, leave 1 block, then punch 2 out, up 1, and then up diagonal to the left. And once you've done that, it will look like this. So I'm going to get rid of my arm, and it will look like this. Of course, if you want to pause, again, take your time, very, very complicated. Hopefully you guys got that. If not, comment down below and I'll show you some more support, especially on Twitter. If you have any issues on this video, definitely send me a picture at Twitter, tell me where you've gone wrong, and I'll try and support you personally as much as I can. So, if you have got that though, very well done. One last thing we need to do before moving on to the body is add the shoulders, which is more or less done, but there's a few blocks missing, as you can see. So what we do is we just fill all these gaps in here, not these gaps, all the gaps, and not this one either, that are not meant to be filled in with brown stained clay. So the ones that aren't meant to be filled in is this one here, this row here. However, you can fill it in if you want to, and then these blocks either side on the shoulders. But yeah, once you've done that, you have the general statue looking like this. I'll do one last spin around of the whole body so far, if you need to pause or go back at all. But after this, we're moving on to the head, and then there's no going back from there. So right now, again, the statue should be 24 blocks tall, 16 wide, 8 wide if you're not including the arms. This is the front of the legs, again 12 by 8. The legs and bodies both being 12 by 8 each, 24 by 8 in total, and each arm being 12 by 4 on each side. This is the body and the front of the arms with the bow tie. Again, make sure the bow tie is 3D. We've got the endoskeleton inside, which you can't really see too well, so if you are struggling with that, definitely go back in the video. We've got the left side of the arm and the left side of the leg. We've got the right side of the arm and the right side of the leg. And then coming around to the back, we've got the back of the legs, and then we've got the back of the body and the back of the arms. Alrighty, so hopefully all you guys are up to pace. If not, again, go back, take your time. But for now, I'm going to pause the video, make sure everything's going great in terms of audio and visual qualities, and then I will be back in a second with the next part, which is, of course, the head. Alrighty guys, so I've checked everything is going fine, and this means we can now move on to the head. So, for the head, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the left side, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block we're going to place a brown stained clay, and we're going to bring it 1, 2 forwards. We're then going to go to the right side, do the exact same, come to the 5th block, which is this one, and we place 1 brown stained clay, bring it 2 forwards. What you'll notice is the 5th block will be the one on the very end, and then we'll have the big gap here. Again, you can have that gap patched off. This is what it looks like if it is patched off, but I don't think it gives you quite the same effect if it is, so I'm going to leave it open. But again, it's your choice. Okay, so back to the head. What we're going to do is we're going to start bringing them inwards. So, we've got the row of 2, so it extends over the front of the statue 2, and then we bring it in the left, in diagonal to the right, and on the right, in diagonal to the left. We're then going to do that again on both sides, and then build across 2 and connect them. So whereas the other statues have a really huge jaw that extends out like 10 blocks, this statue is relatively small in comparison. The jaw only extends 4 blocks out from the front of the statue, which is again quite small compared to some of the other ones. Again, like what we did in the other one, so we're going to fill in this whole area here with black wool, like so, and that is the front of the jaw complete. So again, it extends 2 out, then comes in diagonal twice and connects up like so. Okay, so now you've got that out of the way, what we can do is start moving on to building up the sides. So we're going to come to the left side first, and we're going to extend it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards using brown stained clay. And then what we're going to do is almost like create a shell for the head. So on the second row, we're going to place from left to right 1, 2, 3, 4 brown stained clay. The third row, we do the exact same, and same with the 4th row. The 5th row is 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again it should come in line with the bottom row. Then what we're going to do is build up 6. So, on the left side we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to build across 7 and then link it back down to this block here. So essentially what we have at this point in time is with the bottom row. On top of that we have a square which is 3 by 4. Then on top of that we have an even bigger square which is 8 by 6. In total right now this should be 11 tall and 10 wide if you're including the jaw. If you're not including the jaw, which I guess cuts off here, from this block to that block is 6. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add the side of the endoskeleton head, which is actually indented 1 block. But of course we should do this first because it actually makes life a hell of a lot easier when it comes to building the outsides. We have to do the insides first and then cover it up rather than building the outsides first and trying to work around the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the top left corner. We're then going to count across 2. So leave 2 blocks and the 3rd block. We're then underneath that going to place 1 cyan stained clay. We're going to come behind it and place 1 behind it and then punch out the original one. So as you can see it's indented 1 block like so. Next to that, going towards the front of the statue, we're going to build 1, 2, 3 stone and 1 cyan stained clay. So again, it's 1 cyan, 3 stone, 1 cyan. So it's 5 in total. And when you've done that correctly, it will meet up with the side block that we placed earlier, like so. Okay, so underneath this stone, we're going to place a 2x3 of cyan stained clay. So that is 3 wide and 2 tall. And underneath that, we're going to place 3 layers of stone. So actually you have to come here and behind the brown stained clay to get to this part, but again it's not that hard to access at the moment. And essentially what we do is just fill it all in, including the sides, and once you've done that it makes a rectangle which is 6 tall and 5 wide. So as you can see, if I come around the side, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tall and also 5 wide. Again, I'll just remove the brown stained clay temporarily so you can see. That's what it looks like. And let's put it straight back. Okay, so now we've built that. That is essentially the endoskeleton that goes inside the head. We can start adding the detail to the side of the head, which makes life a lot easier. So what we're going to do is fill this whole block in using brown stained clay, whereas before it was empty, so we could build the endoskeleton. Now we're just going to fill it in, and we're going to start punching out the details. So what we do is we come to the 3rd row on the left side, we leave the 1st block and we punch out the other 2 next to it. We then go up 2 rows, so leave 2 rows, and on the 3rd row we punch this one out, so directly the 2nd block, the 3rd block, and then we go up 1, and this is where we start revealing the endoskeleton. We then, from this block here, go up 1, leave this one, up 1 again, punch that one out and go to the left one. Again, we're slowly revealing the endoskeleton. We then go down 1 to the side 1, so leave these 2 blocks, then this one, we punch it out, go to the right one, down 1, and to the right one. From here, we then go up, so the 2nd block in, we go up 1, leave that, and then punch this one out. So essentially it's the 2nd to last row, and it is the 6th block. Okay, so once you've done that, it should look like this, of course. And the one thing we do need to add for this side of the head to complete it is the teeth. So for the teeth, we come to this bottom row here of the jaw that we built earlier, and we place 1, 2, 3, 4 quartz stairs facing towards the brown stained clay, like so. We then place 4 on the upper jaw, upside down. Again, make sure they are upside down, and again, make sure they are facing towards this brown stained clay. And once you've done that, it should look like this. So I will get rid of my arm quickly and show it off to you. If you want to pause, this is what it should look like. Again, it should be 11 tall, 10 wide if you're including the jaw part. If you're not including that front jaw part where you're going inwards, then it's 8 wide up to where the teeth is. But yeah, that's about it. So the other side, we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing, where we're going to build the endoskeleton head first, and then we'll get straight back and cover it up. So coming round to the right side, of course what we're going to start by doing is coming to here, extending it backwards 5 using the brown stained clay until it looks like that. That is essentially the side of the head, again, it should match up with the other side, so it should overhang the back twice and overhang the front 4 times. Okay, so from right to left this time, at the very end, we're going to place 4 brown stained clay, 3 rows. So 3 rows of 4. And then on the 4th row, again, we're going to place 8. So it should overhang and come in line with the front here, as you can see. There you go, so it joins up like so. You don't actually place end blocks, but I was just placing it to prove that it will line up. Okay, so then what we're going to do is build up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the right side, extend it over 7 and down, and essentially that's given us what we had on the last time, where we've got this empty surface here to build the endoskeleton head, and we've also got the jawline. So what we're going to do, like we did last time, except from before we started at the top, this time we're going to start at the bottom. In line with this brown stained clay, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone. So starting from left to right, it goes 5 stone and then 1 gap. On top of that, we're going to place another layer of 5 stone. And then we place another layer of 5 stone. And then the next 3 layers, of course, go stone, 3 cyan, stone, stone, 3 cyan, stone. And then the final layer goes cyan, 3 stone, cyan. Okay, so that is what it should look like so far. Of course, then we cover it all up with our brown stained clay. Like so. And then we get to punching out the details. So this is what it should look like without any of the details. Now we're going to start adding some. So we start off on the bottom left, or bottom right corner, sorry, my bad. We go up to the 3rd row, and the 2nd block in, we punch that one out, we go to the left one, and we also go up 1. We then go up twice, so leaving them to the left, punch it out, to the left, punch it out. From this block here, at the right of them 2 blocks we just punched out, we go up 1, and up again, and we punch them 2 blocks out, and we go left 1, and punch that one out. So this is what it should be looking like so far, from different angles, just so you can see. We're going to come to this block here, we're going to go up 1, leave it, up 1 again, punch it to the left. We're then going to come back to this row here, where the exposed stone is, go 2 to the left on the 3rd block, punch it to the left, and up 1. We then, from here, go down 1, and leave it, and then punch this one out, like so. And once you've done that, it exposes half of the endoskeleton head, and it should look like this. Again, like last time, what we need to do is add the teeth. So we're going to get our quartz stairs and have it facing towards the block, and on the upper jaw have it upside down quartz stairs, again facing towards the brown stained clay, like so. And this is the right side of the head complete. Again, should be 11 tall, 8 wide, or 10 wide if you're including the jaw. The jaw, again, being these 2 blocks right here. Okay, so if you want to, feel free to pause. If not, you are more than welcome to continue. So for the next part, which we're going to do, is the back of the head. So we're going to come around to the back of the head, and we're of course going to do the endoskeleton part first. So for the first row, we're just going to link it up, is stone. 2nd row is stone. 3rd row is stone. The 4th row is 1 stone, 2 cyan, 1 stone. Next row is 1 stone, 2 cyan, 1 stone. And then the next row is also 1 stone, 2 cyan, 1 stone. Next, what we're going to do is link all these parts up here. So we just place, for the first row, which is on top of where we've got the brown stained clay, we place a layer of black wool. And then the next row is black wool. And then the final row is brown stained clay. So it should look like this. On the final row, what we're going to do is build all the way up. So we're going to build up 10 on each row, all the way across, and link it up like so. Then, once you've done that, we can get to punching the details out for the back of the head. Again, pay attention and it should be fine. So, we're going to start at the bottom right corner. We're going to go up diagonal, punch this one out and go to the left and up 1. We're then, from here, going to go to the left twice and up 1, punch this one out to left, up to left. From this bottom corner here, we're going to go up twice and to the left 1, like so. From there, we're going to go up twice, to the left 1, punch that one out, up 1, and then up diagonal. From the lower block on this one here, we're going to go 1 to the left, leave it, punch that one out to the side of it. We're then going to go up twice, to the left of it, punch it out, go up one more, and to the right of it, punch it out. And it should look like this. Again, if you want to, pause, it should be 11 blocks tall and 8 blocks wide. Okay, so that leaves us with 2 more sides left. That leaves us with the top and also the front. For the top, we just fill this part in with stone because it doesn't matter, it will be covered up anyways. And then on top of that, we just place a layer of brown stained clay. We just fill this in like so, and it connects up like that. So that just leaves us with the front. For the front, what we're going to do is we are going to get our our oak planks, and from this first brown stained clay here, we're going to go inwards diagonal and inwards diagonal again, and we do the exact same on this side. We go inwards diagonal twice and link it up like that. On top of that, we're going to do another row, so the exact same, but except in the middle part, the 2 middle blocks is black wool. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place 4 oak wood planks right there, and on top of the middle 2 place 2 more like that, and that's just to give it some shape. And again, just to make sure you know where this should be in line with, it should be in line with the brown stained clay just above the jawline. So the teeth will go here, 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 and here. You get the idea, hopefully. And I'm punching more than I should be. There you go. Okay, so for the eyes and the top of the head, what we're going to do is in line with the brown stained clay here. So what we do, on the left we go up twice. On the third block, next to it we place 1 white wool. We go up 1 and to the right 1. In this gap here we place 1 orange, and we kind of mirror that on the other side. So we go up 1, 2, 3, place 1 white wool to the side of it, up 1, to the left 1, and then under it we place 1 orange. We're then going to fill this whole area in here using our brown stained clay, all the gaps, and then we'll get to punching out some details. Okay, so this is what it should look like without any of the details. We're going to add the details now. So, in between the eyes, we've got these 2 blocks. On the right side, we punch that one out. We go up diagonal. Whoops, that's not up diagonal. Up diagonal to side 1. And then from that block there, we go up diagonal to the left. On top of the left eye, we punch out them 2 blocks. And we go up 1 on the right. So, this leaves us with a bunch of gaps. Normally, we would do the endoskeleton, but we don't actually need to in this case. Because only a few blocks are visible. So we can just work with it. One block I didn't actually say we needed, but we did, is grey wool. So that is my bad. Apologies there. What we do is this first block here is stone. The one next to it is grey wool. And the one on top of it is grey wool. All indented like so. This block here is grey wool. If I can get in there. Let me come behind there. Is grey wool. And we're also going to place 1 brown stained clay below just to cap it off. Next to the grey wool is that white wool that we just placed. There we go. And then up diagonal from that is the grey wool. Next to that is 1 stone. And then up diagonal from the grey wool to the left is also 1 more grey wool. So it should look like that. If you want to pause, feel free to do so. Few minor details we need to do, and then we'll move on to finishing this thing up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is in fact do the inside of the mouth, and then we'll go on to the top of the head, start finishing things up. So essentially we just fill this whole area in with black wool, so we have a nice flat surface of black wool. We come to the back of the mouth, so right here, and what we do is we get our cyan stained clay, we count to the 3rd and 4th block in, come forwards 1 row, so it's not the back row, but it's the second to back row, and we place a 2x2 of cyan stained clay right in the middle. So it should be 2 blocks away from the left, 2 blocks away from the right, and on top of that we place 2 stone, and it will connect to the existing stone we already had. For this existing stone, what we're going to do is basically turn the whole ceiling into stone like that, in line with where the existing stone already was. Where there's not existing stone, we're just going to replace with brown stained clay, and it should look like this. Okay, so what we need now, which again I don't think I actually said at the start of the video we needed, so that is my apologies, we need our stone brick stairs. So what we're going to do is have 1 stone brick stair on the left facing towards the cyan, 1 stone brick stair on the right facing towards the cyan, and then we're going to mirror it on the roof. So on the left side and on the right side. And you get a shape that looks like this. We're then, on the bottom row, going to leave one gap to the left, place another row of stairs, and we're going to mirror it again on the other side, and again on the roof. So make sure there is a 1 block gap, and it's also upside down on the roof. It should look like this. Next, what we're going to do is bring it one forwards again. So leave 1 block gap, bring it forwards, and then bring it closer together. So there is no gap in between the stairs, and they're facing together like so. And again, like before, just mirror it on the ceiling. And it gives you an awesome effect like this. So, this is what it should look like. Again, it should be 1 block away from the back. We've got this 2x2 square of cyan. This should be just an empty gap. That's intentional. Then we got the stairs facing towards each other. And yeah, hopefully, you should be able to get it pretty simple enough without too much worries. So, the final thing we're going to do for the mouth, of course, is fill in the final teeth. So, for the brown stained clay spots here at the bottom, we place one on either one each side, facing towards the back of the mouth. And then for the middle teeth, what we do is we place one on the end, one opposite facing to that, and then opposite facing to that. So essentially we're just going towards the left, towards right, left, right. And it makes them back to back and gives you a nice effect like that. For the upper jaw, on this wooden here, we place one and one more on the left side. And that's again facing towards the jaw, towards the back of the jaw should I say. And then on the upper jaw, in the middle part, we place left, right, left, right. So essentially, the bottom jaw is the exact same as the top jaw, just mirrored. It's always facing towards the back of the mouth, except from these teeth at the front. So, I'm going to get rid of my arm, let you guys see one last time what the mouth should look like, and make your adjustments / build whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's what it should look like so far. Or in fact, that's what it should look like at all, because that is the mouth done. So the final things we need to do before we are done. We need to add the ears, and we need to add the hat. So I'm going to add the hat first. What we're going to do is we come to the front, so the front with the face, of course. We come to the left side, we leave 2 blocks gap, so on the third row, place 1 brown stained clay there. Go 1 to the right, leave it, place 4 black wool, leave 1 space, 1 brown stained clay. So each brown stained clay marks out where the ears go. Again, it should be set 2 back from the front, and the black wool is where the hat goes. So for the hat, we extend it 1, 2, 3 backwards, 1, 2, 3 to the right, and 2 forwards to make a 4x4 square. Again, it should be 2 block gap between the front, the back, and each side. And then in the middle, we place a 2x2 cube of black wool on top of that to make the top hat. And that is what it looks like with the top hat. But of course, as you can see, the ears are missing. So, for the right ear, we're going to do first, we double it up. So behind this 1 brown stained clay, we place 1 more facing towards the back. We're then going to go up. So when I say 1 block, it's actually 2 thick. So we replicate it times 2. We go to the side again, down, down again, and to the left. Now we have this 2 thick gap in the middle. For the furthest back block, we place 1 brown stained clay, and the closer block towards the front is 1 oak plank. And the reason behind that is so that you can't see the oak plank from behind, because it's not meant to be seen. So that is the right ear, as again, it should be 2 thick, and essentially a 3x3 square, if you think about it like that. Okay, so for the left ear, slightly more complicated. What we're going to do, again, is double it up, so we place 1 behind it. We're then going to go down diagonal and place a block like that. We're going to go to the side 1, up 1, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 oak plank. So we're not going to place it double, we're going to place 1 right there. We're then going to come behind this ear to here. We're going to place 1 brown stained clay at the front. So on top of the original block we place 1, again not too thick, just 1. And this is where we need our pink stained clay and also our blue stained clay. So for the pink stained clay, behind where this oak plank is, what we're going to do is place 1 brown stained clay. On top of that we're going to go up 2 using pink, up diagonal to the right and up 1, and then up diagonal to the left. Again, this should be furthest away from the front, so it should not be towards the front, it should be away from the front, and the oak plank should be at the front. Okay, coming back round to the back of the head again. For the blue stained clay, we're going to place one next to the first pink. We're going to go down diagonal and to side, and then down diagonal again. And once you've done that, it should look like this. And that is it. You have completed the statue. So, I'm going to get rid of my arm quickly and show you around the head one last time. And then we will say our goodbyes, because I've already showed you around the body. So, again, the head, each side is slightly different. The left side and right side are 11 by 8, including the jaw is 11 by 10. And then the front, again, is 11 by 8. So, anyways, as I'm spinning, hopefully you'll pause when you need to do so, if you need to do so. If not, and you found this useful, then feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. I really do appreciate the feedback. As for future tutorials, I will be doing Nightmare Bonnie and potentially Nightmare in the very near future, so definitely stick around for that. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. Until next time, I've been Tom, and goodbye.
Pull my heart out of my chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink your teeth into my bones, dig me out, then fill the hole. Tear me apart.